short videos of just answering some of the comments.
What are some of the questions that you can remember?
One was he wanted to know more about this UFO, the UFO experience, and a guy wanted to know more about when the aliens invaded, like I said, about 50, 60,000 years ago. It's recorded in the Fall of the Tower of Babel. Basically, the concept was that it was the demiurgus, the false god, that came over and subjugated mankind to have him worship this false god. Well, like I said, the true God, the real God, is not going to come out and say, I'm God. He's going to be a part of your life and a part of you. The false God wants to rule over you. He wants slaves. He wants people that are more rigidly, mentally set to one thing. There's it's this way and no other way or whatever. Well, hell, there's more than one way to skin a cat. Of course, I'm not in the business of skinning cats, but I know there's more than one way to do it. So, it's not a question of how long ago it happened or what exactly happened. I don't know that. I just know that all the evidence is there, empirical and otherwise, that there was a higher state of technological development or capability on this planet once before that has been destroyed. And most of this knowledge has been lost. But this knowledge, too, is not based upon making something out of materialistic things like making it out of steel or metal or concrete or wood or anything, nothing material. It's about the basis of what happens when you share spirit. Mm-hmm. Now, you can go the wrong way with that and it gets off into all kinds of deprivations, shall we say. And one of the easiest it is to get off into the sexual part. Because when you start to share a spirit, it's not about sex, it's not about orgies or anything like that. It's you open up the inner child of yourself. Look, have you ever seen, like a 4 or 5 year olds? They're so good at just sharing themselves with the people around them. They don't think about it. Of course, you got some people out there too that take advantage of even that. Do I have all the solutions? Hell no, but I got some of them. And it all starts within your own being, with what you are. The sharing of your being with another person is basically what it's all about. To do that, it has to be done. Total acceptance, love. There's a lot of qualifications you can put on it. I know that works.
Yeah, and I would say in our sex-driven commercial society, there's a lot of focus on that, but not the love part. And I think there's a lot of people awake to that now. I think a lot more people need to wake up to it, but it's pretty prevalent how it's been used in advertising and how sex has been used to sell wars, which is pretty, I think, a little bit perverse. And I think when you do that, the energy gets weird on the earth.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, whatever it takes, if there's something that generates pleasure, pain and pleasure, those two, positive and negative, those are the two main things you deal with. And if there is something that generates pleasure that can be used against you, you can bet this ruling class will do it, because they're interested in maintaining control over the population. They aren't interested in the advancement. If they were interested in the advancement of people, we wouldn't have so many people placed in what's called the fight or flight syndrome. Now, to do that, look at and understand Abraham Maslow's hierarchy of needs. Beautiful man, did not. But he wrote a lot of good stuff like Religions, Values, and Peak Experiences. But in the hierarchy of needs, your two basic needs, safety and then food, shelter, and clothing, your physical needs. When you are having to struggle and fight and you feel threatened, drive-by shootings in ghettos, whatever the reason is, mm-hmm. When your safety needs are not met, when your food, shelter, and clothing is not met, having to steal a loaf of bread at the 7-Eleven to put food on the table for a couple of starving kids, that type of thing, your learning process is shut down because you're in fight or flight mode. You have to do something to survive. and you look at it, more and more of our a larger and larger proportion of our society is being put into this type of fight or flight mode, where it is a struggle just to survive.